I knew it would happen. Do you know what I mean? It's just like I called it.
I'm just saying, there's Ballon d'Or shouts for Jorginho now.
No, see,
No, he won't win. No,
Yeah, I
because
know.
Messi won the Copa America, so it's fine. He's not going to win it.
Yeah,
thank
but
God.
did Messi win the Champions League like Jorginho did?
Did Messi?
Yeah,
did Jorginho get top scorer?
I remember managing his dad with Football Manager, like when I used to play it when I was a kid, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? Now his son's playing.
Thank you for the memories, but you were crap in the final, so you know it works both ways.
No, that's taking a turn. I was going to clip this as well.
Oh shit! Let's have some pre-match talk. Or we're just getting rid of the change room.
Well, we've started recording now, so let's just boys. It's been a while. How have you been? I don't think especially Luke. I don't feel like I've spoken to you for a while, but really, I mean, it's been absolutely.
It has been a little while.
Yeah, we've been trying to do the pod for a while, but obviously, you know, the Euros have been on. It's been really busy. The three of us have been working quite a lot as well, so we've not really had the chance to do a pod during the Euros. But what a tournament we've just had! Euro 2020 absolutely lived up to what we were waiting for a whole pretty much 18 months at this point.
Fully.
Yeah, for us, we did a podcast back in March 2020. Me and Luke did when Jack was in Iceland, and we were talking about it, and we were saying like, this is Danny Ings should be in the England squad and stuff like that. In March, there's been a full 18 months since then that we've been waiting for this tournament, and wow, it was brilliant, wasn't it, boys?
Yeah,
it was amazing.
It almost came home, but it wasn't quite to be.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that in a second. Well, first off, we'll start with the opening of the Euros. I think. We all had a pretty dodgy night the night before the Euros start. So it was. I remember waking up that morning going, "It's Euros Day." But yeah, it just shows how hyped that was. To be completely honest with you, and it lived up. I mean, Italy. We'll start with them. They. We'll just start with it, right? My predicted final was England versus Italy, and I got it right. I said Italy will win, and yes, I am disappointed by that because it didn't come home. But it just shows that I'm a football genius, doesn't it, boys?
Did I say? I swear I said the same, didn't I?
I think
I said England.
Yeah, we had the same final.
I said it wasn't going to happen. I can't remember.
We had the same final, but then you said England will win in the final. I think. I can't remember. You might have agreed with me, but Luke, your prediction of a France-England final was quite a way off.
Oh yeah, well, on paper you'd think that France would get that. I was just sort of saying England for the meme, innit? Like,
yeah.
The memes that's going over now.
I mean, that's the same with us.
France just had a stinker.
Oh mate, honestly, right. I passed my driving test the day of the France-Switzerland game, right, and I got a story to tell. Right, France, what was it? They went 3-1 up, weren't they? I think it was 3-1 up with about 5 minutes left to go. France, and I was like, okay, I'll just go to Tesco's. So I drove to Tesco's my first journey. I came back. I was just listening to it on 5 Live. By the time I came back, didn't realise, because by the time I switched on 5 Live, I was like right at the end of the journey. I heard Chris Sutton say, "This is going to penalties." I'm like, well, hang on a minute, what? I was like, well, hang on a minute, what the hell was going on here? Because obviously the couple hours before, it was Croatia-Spain, and the same thing happened. Do you remember that when it was?
Yeah.
Spain was 3 up, and obviously the game was 5-3 in the end, and what a game that was. But yeah, the same thing happened. I remember this saying, "Oh, it can't happen twice in one day." And then by the time I came back from Tesco, it did happen. I mean, Shaw missed the 2 goals. Don't know what they were like. Can't remember now. But France, Mbappe missing the penalty. That
Jan Sommer, the absolute hero.
Jan Sommer. See, he's a good goalkeeper. I remember us saying at the start he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and he just gets very little praise. And I mean, he's still probably going to play for Borussia Mönchengladbach, but the Euros is a time where goalkeepers can shine, like Gianluigi Donnarumma. So let's go into the final of the Euros. We all know what happened. England versus Italy in the finals. And, England, they did us proud, played some excellent defensive football. Yes, it was a bit boring at times, but it was the true Italian way, as you could say, the previous Italian way anyway. Gareth Southgate proved me wrong, especially. I mean, we did a podcast earlier, and we were talking, is Southgate the right man? And we weren't really sure, to be honest with you. I remember we had a big debate about that when we were previewing the tournament, and he had quite a few genius tactical decisions. The likes of Sterling, sticking with Sterling, even when he's had a terrible season in the Premier League, and bringing Bukayo Saka in when he did, going to the back 5. And it took an unbelievable Italy side all the way to penalties. And yeah, we can look back on it and say what a good tournament for England, but at the end of the day, it didn't come home. And we all thought it was going to come home, but it was very disappointing. So, boys, let's thoughts. Let's just talk about it. It's painful.
Sad.
Yeah,
Sad. I'm still recovering. Can't lie.
I had the worst hangover of my life on Monday morning.
Same.
I had the worst hangover of my life on Monday morning, man. I can't. Normally I get hangovers in the evening, but man, the morning. You know when you know it's bad when you wake up in the morning and you feel like utter death. Like that is a bad hangover, man.
I'll tell you what though, I'm just glad that we scored.
Yeah,
Like I'm just glad that we got to celebrate a goal. Like
and in the first couple
scene,
of minutes as well, which made it even better. I think
it's pretty much the exact same as the Trippier goal in the Croatia game. That was within the first 5 or 10 minutes. I think it was the 5th minute or something.
Life peaked.
Yeah.
When Trippier scored the free kick. And how life peaked when Shaw scored.
Honestly, that like the moments were so similar. In the time as well, I was thinking, oh please don't come back to bite. And I was so confident. I put on my Instagram story, 45 minutes till England bring the Euros home, and oh god, that second half was dreadful, wasn't it, boys?
Yeah,
It
great.
Right, so it was a good start with the Luke Shaw goal. England were on the front foot for most of the first half, but Italy, I mean, they came back from the halftime team talk with Mancini, and he adjusted so quickly, and they became dominant for the first period of the second half. It was the first half an hour or so, really. Italy were pounding England. I mean, the back five that they started with, that Southgate was switched to again, that it was sorry, the back three, but the wing backs, it was a flat back five towards that. But just before the Italy goal, they were pressing, just much like they were in the Turkey game at the very, very start of the Euros. The goal eventually came through Leonardo Bonucci as a bit of a disappointing goal to concede the way it was. It could have probably been dealt with, but Bonucci was there, right place, right time, and the goal was coming, wasn't it? Really, let's be realistic.
It was coming. It was very much. I'd say the first half was definitely our half. We can say that. I think. Second half though, it was dud. Even extra time as well. It was a wrap.
I just don't think that England adjusted the same way that Italy did once we scored against them. They adjusted a lot better than we did, to be honest. So
my thing is, I don't think Southgate made changes quickly enough. I think as soon as he saw we were getting peppered, he should have brought on someone like Grealish straight away.
I think Grealish or Sancho needed to come on.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Henderson probably should have been brought on at half time because
even then he did play crap though.
Yeah, I know, but it's just the experience. Like, he's been there before, and also I know Henderson's missed penalties, but I didn't agree with taking him off just before the penalty because he probably would have been one of the experienced men and probably one of the first penalty takers rather than Saka, Sancho, or Rashford. Anyway, let's England lost the penalties, by the way, just in case you are late to the party. So Southgate did make his changes, but too late. And England were better after the changes were made, bringing on the likes of Saka, Grealish. Saka and Grealish in that first half. Grealish in extra time, but really, it looked destined for penalties. The second Italy scored, like there was that moment right at the end of extra time when Rashford and Sancho came on, and there was about 8 attacking players on the pitch and about 3 defenders, and when Rashford was right back, that was a really nervy time. I remember watching that, and I was like, "Oh God, Italy are going to score here." But other than that, it did look like it was destined for penalties, and it was a good start to the shootout where Belotti, the penalty was saved after the first 2 rounds, and England looked on the front foot, but the Marcus Rashford miss was a real turning point, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was. He's a good penalty taker, but I don't understand why he dipped around with the ball so much. He should have just, instead of trying to unnerve Donnarumma.
I saw him put on his Instagram that he went to go smash it and he just second guessed himself and just stuttered and overthought it.
Yeah, you can't change your mind mid taking penalty. You just need to go what you're feeling first and just smack it in and not dick around with it. But we paid the price for it, so.
Yeah, and shortly after that, the Sancho save from Donnarumma followed, and even though Pickford did manage to save Jorginho's effort, which was impressive, by the way, because Jorginho is the penalty king, as many people call him. I think I called him the exact title in the preview as well. A Saka miss would seal it, and all the pressure was on him because of I think it was Di Lorenzo that scored the penalty for Italy, and yeah, all the pressure was on Saka. And I honestly, why you put a 19-year-old kid in that penalty then, I don't know. It's I just feel sorry for Sancho, Saka, and Russia, to be honest with you, because the amount of abuse they followed afterwards, it was horrible.
Shocking!
Horrible to look at, absolutely horrible.
Shocking.
And honestly, man, just social media is an absolute minefield, and sometimes I just wish it wasn't a thing at all, to be honest with you. It's horrible.
Well, the world will be much better off without it.
Yep.
Can't lie.
Well, I've wrote underneath all my notes, England will be back, and I get that feeling that this isn't the end for the England side. Whether it's the 2024 Euros in Germany or the 22 World Cup in Qatar, the majority of them have got a good 2 or 3 tournaments left in this side because the talent is so young. England have the youngest side in the whole competition, and to get to the final with that, especially on penalties as well, to grind out a result with an Italy side who are fully experienced. The likes of Chiellini and Bonucci, they've literally won everything other than the World Cup now. They've won absolutely every trophy you can win. It's impressive. And Mancini as well, he's a much more experienced manager than Gareth Southgate, and that probably did help with the adjustments. And Southgate's a good manager. We'll get onto this now because I know we have one friend who really doesn't like him and was very angry after that. But do you yeah, just to mention that, because I did tell him to shut up and I called him a wet wipe or something afterwards because he absolutely has no knowledge of football. Yeah, but anyway, away from that.
Wait, can I just say something?
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Mancini's hella underrated as a manager.
I know.
I don't think people realise, he laid down the foundations at Inter when Jose came in. And City, yeah.
Honestly, that City side with Mancini, as much as you talk about the Pep one and the Pellegrini one, the Mancini one was the one that scared me the most. With the Aguero,
Mancini is just something about him.
Pre-Aguero, that was not pre-Aguero, but the start of Aguero, that 2012-2013 Aguero, that was scary because man, he was new on the scene, and it was like, wow, what's this? And that City side, I mean, even Edin Dzeko was a key player in that team. You talk about now, Edin Dzeko, where's he gone now? But what that City side, they were scary, but they were nowhere near as talented as what Pep's got on his hands now. And I mean, they've achieved pretty much the same.
That's what makes you a good manager. If you can do well with what you're given and don't have to splash the cash on £500 million players just to win you a trophy, and do what Mancini's done and sort of use your resources, what you have. I think that makes you a good manager.
Yeah, well, that's the thing of Gareth Southgate. In 2018, that England squad, he had like Fabian Delph in that squad.
Yeah, we had no right to go as far as
and it got to the semi-final, and yes, it didn't play. I mean, it played Belgium twice, and yes, they lost to Belgium twice, but that's not a point. They still played quality opposition in that tournament. I mean, Sweden, look how good Sweden were in this Euros. Their squad's probably, just as good as it was in the World Cup, and England beat them 4-0 in the World Cup. It's just I did criticize Gareth a little bit before this, but I think I have full faith now that he's probably the man to do it for England.
The thing is, though, is before the whole tournament, I was saying, "Oh, Southgate, he's inept."
Yeah, mate. No.
Every decision he's made has come off perfectly, apart from the final and the penalty.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But every decision going to a back five against Germany, wasn't it? Went back five
with Germany, yeah.
And then started off with a back five in the final. But what are you doing that? Why are you playing Trippier? Trippier gets the assist for Luke Shaw in the Germany game, brings on Grealish. Why you haven't done that earlier? Instant impact, gets an assist. It's like, I've seen the light. Gareth Southgate might be the one.
Mate,
be the one.
Would you have taken Gareth Southgate as Spurs? I know that was a link earlier before Nuno. Would you take him?
I don't know. I think he's. I don't know because he's. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know because I think he's good for that sort of England camp because obviously it's a lot of players coming in from different teams, maybe not to get on, but he created a good atmosphere there. That was one important thing. Like that's something England have been criticised for years.
I saw it on ITV. There was a big interview, and he was saying, "Now, for me, when I was playing for England, a lot of players weren't as enthusiastic about England as I was. They were more about their club team, and they used to hang out with their club teammates. So you talk about like Beckham and Neville and Scholes, all them lot were in a gang, and then later on in life, it was Lamps and JT and all them lot. Like they all had, and Ashley Cole, Joe Cole, they all had cliques inside the England camp. I know Southgate wasn't there for the later ones, but like it was there throughout the England, many England teams. And he was saying how this is how England should be, and he's really made all the players that are in the squad proud to play for England, and that's the thing. That was the difference between the Hodgson and the Capello and Sven-Goran Eriksson, and even going back to like Venables and Boy Robson, all of them. That's the difference from then and now, like with England.
You can tell he's more suited to the international setup of managing compared to club life. Like,
because he was criticised heavily at Middlesbrough. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think he got them relegated as well.
Yeah,
pretty sure. Like, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so on to the tournament as a whole now. So let's go through the official UEFA team of the tournament and react to it, and then we're going to name our own ones after that. So just get up. So the UEFA team of the tournament, in goal, Gianluigi Donnarumma. See, he won Italy the Euros. He should be team of the tournament. Now, the player of the tournament, what do you think about that, boys? Do you think he should be given that?
I think he was good, and it's a justifiable thing. But I do think the main reason Italy got as far as they did was because of Bonucci and Chiellini. I do think that is the main reason why.
I did think.
Not saying Donnarumma's a bad keeper he's class. He's top 3 in the world at the moment. But I don't know. I just think in terms of that defense, and Spinazzola obviously was very good in the early stages before he got injured.
In a minute. I got a whole segment about him, mate. I've got a whole.
Yeah, I do think. I think Pickford was just as important for England as Donnarumma was for Italy, and obviously Pickford went and got the Golden Glove.
The reason why I think Pickford could have won Player of the Tournament if it went the other way, by the way. But the reason why Donnarumma's got all the awards is because he won it at the end of the day, and that's how it works. So
I feel so bad for Pickford. Though.
Oh, easily.
Like,
he
done great so tournament. Well.
Great tournament, and he is within a shout. But Donnarumma literally won his team the Euros by saving 2 penalties, and I mean, can't really disagree with it. Right back, Kyle Walker. This is an interesting one because at the start of the tournament, he was having a lot of criticism. Walker was. Everyone was like, "Oh, hang on a minute, what's?" Because he had a few poor games up. But that Denmark game, and especially the Italy one as well, Walker was amazing. And probably did play as well into the right-back role for the team of the tournament.
I do think he was good. I do think, obviously, he's in the team of the tournament, got his place there. But I don't think other right-backs could have easily made it into the team of the tournament. I think it's just because England got to the final, he was there. I think that's why he's in there.
See, the thing of the team of the tournament is, especially with right back, is also Mæhle, the Denmark player. Now he is a right back, but he played on the left hand side, so he can't really be on the right back list. Kufal again, he was probably the second best right back behind Walker. He got 4 assists. Was it in this tournament? We were just talking about him. We named him the player of the team of the season for the Premier League when we were doing the podcast a couple of weeks ago, probably about a month ago now, but that's not the point. It's the same thing. Kufal was excellent for the Czech Republic as well, and was a big part to their success. As well as my boy Thomas Kallas, the absolute baller, Bristol City captain. Kufal could have been on this list as well, and I was debating about putting him on there in my team, which we'll talk about later. Now, centre backs kind of self-explanatory. Bonucci instead of Chiellini, because Chiellini missed games because of the injury, and Maguire. I think that's fair. Those two probably deserve to be in there over anybody else because they were so dominant throughout the entirety of the Euros, in the games they played anyway.
Maguire, I think this tournament's now cemented Maguire as a world-class centre-back. I do think that. Obviously he was a bit of a meme before, but now I think this season coming off from United and now this tournament, he's definitely cemented himself.
All I'm saying is Harry Maguire and Rafa Varane as a pairing at centre-back, that's going to be very good for United this season. That's all.
It would be.
That's all I'm saying. Varane, I think, is expected to happen. We'll go into transfers and stuff later, but I think he's almost agreed personal terms. It's just they need to sort something out of Real Madrid at this point. So left back, my player of the tournament until he got injured, Leonardo Spinazzola. What a player, mate! What a player.
What a tournament he had.
He was incredible.
From the very start, and we were talking about, the Euros had begun that night. We woke up after a very dodgy night the night before, and I was saying Italy or whatever. It started with Nessun Dorma by Pavarotti. Was it whoever the opera singer was? I can't remember at the time. It was, like I said, it was a month ago. But honestly, that opening for the Euros, that game, Italy started off the perfect way, and Spinazzola really announced himself, overlapping on the left-hand side. I mean, yes, he can use either feet, by the way. A lot of people said he's a right-footed. No. Spinazzola can use either feet, either foot. But, he is a cracking footballer. He worked really well with Insigne, and yes, Italy did miss it a lot. But fair play to Emerson, sort of coming in that role at left-back and not looking too out of place as he does probably in the Premier League for Chelsea, is why he doesn't get many games. Thought?
Who's that, Emerson?
Yeah,
Emerson done quite well, to be fair, considering. I think obviously because of how well Spinazzola did, it was obviously going to be a big loss for them. But I do think Emerson did quite well there. Obviously hasn't played as much for Chelsea in the last year or so, so it was quite impressive to see how well he was doing. Considering he hadn't played much.
I didn't think Italy were really going to miss Spinazzola, but obviously Emerson's covered in well, done his job. Yeah, they went and won the Euros.
Yeah, what a player Spinazzola is. Højbjerg was the first centre midfielder named. Obviously, Luke, you probably watched him more than many, especially in the Premier League. But as in, how good of a tournament do you think he had?
He was very good, and it was weird because
for Spurs fans towards the end of the season as well, especially, it was terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. It was just a bit leggy, but I do see what you mean. I think as well it's because he was very much a holding midfielder when he was playing for Spurs, very much just there to be this dickhead, just break up the play and then put the ball forward. This tournament, he was more of a box-to-box, almost like a cam sort of player when he was going forward.
He stepped up to the Eriksen role after.
He got the most assists in the tournament, I'm pretty sure, as well. Which for Højbjerg, I mean, that's pretty ridiculous considering he's not really known for getting involved in making the goals or not. But no, he had a very good tournament, and I'm just glad how well he done because I think football fans are starting to realise what a good player he is, and how that sort of translated in this Euros, especially considering what happened with Denmark.
He was meant to have a bright future when he was at Bayern. He was tipped to be the next thing at Bayern. And obviously he went to Southampton because things don't really work out for him. But he built his way up to a sort of semi-big club in Spurs. Not a massive club, but, bigger than Southampton at least. Sorry, Luke.
No.
Anyway, from one London club to another, Jorginho was the second centre midfielder named in the team. He's more of a holding midfielder, Højbjerg does deploy himself in the Premier League, as you said, Luke. But Jorginho, I rated him in the first place, and I said in the preview he's the crucial player in his Italy team. I knew that. I've watched him quite a bit. It's in a 33-game unbeaten run or something stupid like that. It was, but Jorginho, when I was doing the preparation, but Jorginho, he stepped it up another gear in this Euros, and he marshalled that midfield when two massive names, or even three, but two massive names that played alongside him. The starter was Locatelli because when Verratti was injured, but when Verratti came in, he was still the key man. When it was Verratti, Barella, and Jorginho was the man that made him tick, and that was amazing to see because I knew it would happen. Do you know what I mean? It's just I called it.
I'm just saying, there's Ballon d'Or shouts for Jorginho now.
No, he won't win. No, because Messi won the Copa America, so it's fine. He's not going to win it.
Yeah, but did Messi win the Champions League like Jorginho did?
Did Messi? Yeah, did Jorginho get top scorer in La Liga?
Hey, he's a midfielder.
Exactly.
Do you know what?
That's La Liga.
All I'm saying is, Modric was absolutely class when he won Ballon d'Or. Jorginho hasn't been as class as Modric was. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like a...
Yeah, I know.
Modric.
I know he's obviously not going to win it, but it's nice to see some recognition on his name for once.
Yeah, and then the other midfielder, one man who could win a Ballon d'Or in future, I expect he probably will, Pedri. He announced himself onto the stage.
He was very good.
He won Young Player of the Tournament as well. Pedri, the Barcelona wonder kid, he was excellent, especially with the ball as well. Like, wow, what a player, man!
Dribbling wise, he was class.
It was like
going forward
in the Italy game, he didn't misplace a single pass throughout the entire game, and the extra time as well. He had 100% pass completion rate, which is absolutely phenomenal, man. I can't believe it, man. Like Pedri really.
I think he's definitely announced himself as well on a more international level. I don't think many people realise how good of a youngster he is.
I mean, he played 629 minutes over 6 matches with a 92% passing accuracy.
And he's only what, 19?
Yeah, that's what I'm
18.
Saying.
He's 8.
Go on. I was just going to say, us Football Manager players obviously knew how good he was, but everyone else.
Yeah.
Everyone else.
You're a nerd.
Yeah, literally, man. Up the
how class he is.
This could quite easily become a Football Manager podcast, to be honest with you, at some point. Right. Anyway, the football line. The forward line. A start of Chiesa, who is actually my player of the tournament. That's all I'm saying. I think I was watching the Italy game, right, and I was the England-Italy final, obviously, and I was like, wow. And nobody could stop Chiesa. He was the one player that I was like, wow, he's class. Do you know what I mean?
He was insane.
Like, I was just watching.
He's got it all though. Like he's quick, but he's somewhat strong.
I'm just saying, he's good when people cheer when he comes off. So
yeah, I was gassed.
He gives me the feeling that like Messi gives off as a player. Like, when I watch him, I'm just like, wow. And it's
obviously he won't be as good as Messi, but
he gives me that feeling.
What's he? 23, I think.
No, younger than that.
I get the same one.
No, I think he's 23, isn't he? I swear he's 23.
Yeah,
no, I think he's 19, isn't he? I thought he was like quite young.
Is he?
Yeah.
No, he's 23.
Oh, yeah, no, he is 23. I thought he was 21.
Because the reason why I thought he was 19 is because his dad was still playing until like 2012.
Yeah.
I remember managing his dad with Football Manager, like when I used to play it when I was a kid, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? Now his son's playing. But no, honestly, Chiesa, like I watch him and I'm like, wow, what a player. And honestly, this Italy team makes me want to watch Italian football much more. Like, I'm quite knowledgeable in French football. I watch that quite a lot. But yeah, it makes me want to buy a subscription to Premier Sports to watch the Italian football because wow, I really enjoyed this. Same with Berardi as well. I think he wasn't as good as Chiesa, and it was a good decision for Mancini to finally actually switch him around after the group stage because Berardi started and Chiesa finished, but Chiesa from the start was like, wow. Like that was a whole new level. Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
What a tournament Raheem Sterling has had. And this is, we all criticised him in the podcast. We all
Let's face
hold
it,
our
nobody
hands up.
wanted him there.
So we all hold our hands up.
I
say, right, Raheem, I'm sorry, mate. I regret ever doubting you, mate. You were absolutely class in this tournament, and you probably were the best England player alongside Pickford. You scored the majority of the goals, and Raheem Sterling, I salute you, mate. Thank you for almost bringing football home.
Thank you for the memories, but you were crap in the final, so it works both ways.
No, that's taking a turn. I was going to clip this as well. Put it on the
joking. Sterling.
It's still better than Kane.
It's going to tag him in it.
Man. No, bro. Kane becoming
Nah, Kane was lazy.
Kane scored when it mattered.
Kane is Jorginho for England. He is the person. Everything has to go through him. Like I hate the fact that everyone's like, "Oh, Kane was rubbish." Kane, honestly, he needs to play 90 minutes in every single one of those games because otherwise the games could have gone south. I remember when Kane came up against Scotland. Was it England were chasing a thing? They put Rashford up front. Rashford didn't even play up front for United. So do you know what I mean? It's just
my issue is that people were saying, "Oh, can we drop Kane and play Calvert-Lewin or Rashford?" If there's no supply to Kane, what goes through your head to go? Yes, Calvert-Lewin's coming on. We're going to get crossed
when
the
he's
box.
given it. But no chances were created for in the group stage especially, there were limited chances. Like we scored, was it 2 goals, 3 goals in the group stage? I think it might have been 2.
Tell you, if you played Grealish, it was insane. Even against Czech Republic, when Kane didn't score, he didn't play quite well, but he played better because he's actually having service because the likes of Grealish were passing to him. And I think it was, I can't remember who it was. So someone said something in the first half of the final, and someone said Kane was crap, and I was like, "Are you mad? He's literally been the best player in the first half because of how attacking we were and how everyone had to go through him. Like for the first goal, obviously he was running through, played it down to Trippier,
He set up Sterling for the chance as well, didn't he? Or was that? Yeah. Honestly,
and the thing that I found funny is when 4 Italian players were on him, and he just walked past all of them, and they eventually just had to foul him because they couldn't. He was insane.
Yeah, it's like in the Denmark game as well. Like he set up all those Sterling misses. Do you know the one, especially the one that was straight at Schmeichel. It's just, and he set up the goal as well for the about 40 seconds after that. I think it was Kane anyway. But anyway, the striker, it's not Harry Kane, player of the tournament, striker of the tournament. It's Lukaku, which I thought was interesting. Bear in mind, Patrick Schick and Ronaldo both scored more goals than him.
Lukaku played well though.
He played very well.
Was good.
I don't think he was better than like Patrick Schick or Ronaldo though.
I captain
as well as in terms of the teams that they like. Schick, for example, obviously he's not going to have as good a service as Lukaku, like having De Bruyne behind him. But no, I don't really understand.
Yeah, I don't agree with that one.
I don't agree with it, but I can see why he was chosen. If you know what I mean? Like, I can see why they've chosen him.
Right, boys. So that's pretty much well, that's what we're going to do now. What would you change? So for me, I'd take out Højbjerg. Sorry, Luke. And I'd take out Lukaku and I'd put in Dani Olmo and Patrick Schick. That's what I'd do. Olmo was absolutely phenomenal for Spain. I saw loads of criticisms, and I saw a tweet and I was like, "Well, you clearly don't know football if you think Dani Olmo was bad, because he was outstanding, especially in the knockout rounds to Spain as well. Like when they started scoring all the goals, him and Pedri together.
Now Olmo was sick, but I think Højbjerg being there is a fair shout. I think the midfield should stay the same. And I do agree that Schick should be in there for Lukaku, but Olmo was very good.
See, I kind of went more for like players that more impressed me instead of like team of the tournament, I guess.
Yeah.
So I put in. Okay, I had like Pickford in goal because Golden Glove and all that. I had Chiellini at centre back, Spinazzola, and then I went for Gjaya, the Denmark centre back. Yeah. I don't know how to say it.
What a baller!
Just because,
just even with he deserves like
his leadership,
because of what happened with Ericsson.
Yeah.
Like
oh my god, yeah. Oh, my man ran over and he pulled his tongue out to stop him choking. I was like, what a G. Blessed.
And then at right back, I took out Walker. I put in Munier because I thought he was pretty good. I went for Jorginho. I thought Calvin Phillips, he had a class Euros.
Yes, we haven't talked about the Calvin.
It was very good.
Yeah. And I actually went for Forsberg as well. It's my third midfielder.
He was so good.
We were robbed
of 3 forwards
in the World Cup as well. I was happy that he actually did well.
Yeah. Pretty much the same. Sterling, Schick, and then Chiesa.
Yeah, I thought it would be. So we're talking about Calvin Phillips. Biggest surprise. Now my biggest surprise, I was thinking about it. I was like, who am I going to do? I mean, Czech Republic were up there. I was like, well, I expected them to come. I think it was 4th in the group. I said, or it might have been 3rd actually, but I didn't expect them to qualify or even come. They were top in the group until the very last game of the very last match day. They were outstanding. Schick was brilliant up front. My biggest surprise was the fact that Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice, who we both said we were worried about the midfield, those two together were absolutely insane, and they held the rock for England, especially when we were playing such good defensive football, as I said earlier. Phillips especially.
Another Southgate masterclass.
Phillips especially. I remember we were saying everyone called him the Yorkshire Perlo after the Croatia game. But it was I think that was the thing before, but obviously it sort of elevated itself. But yeah, I think Calvin Phillips was the England midfield in general are my biggest surprise. How about you boys?
Yeah, I said the same. I went for Calvin Phillips as one of my biggest surprises. I just thought
Yeah,
he was class.
And do you say same, Luke?
Phillips was very good. I see. For my biggest surprise, I've just gone for the whole Denmark team.
Yeah.
And how they sort of responded to the Ericsson situation. How they weren't going to qualify, and then they beat Russia 4-1, I think it was, and then they just suddenly came alive. They beat Wales 4-0, beat Czech Republic to 2-1, and I did think. Well, I didn't think we'd lose to them, but I was like, okay, if we lost to them, I could see us losing to them. Like I didn't think we would, but I could be like, okay, we might lose it.
I was so worried ahead of the Denmark game because I wanted them to do well. They had all the momentum, and that's how you win. I mean, Greece in 2004 had all the momentum.
I think they were the team people wanted to win.
Yeah,
they're definitely everyone's second team.
Easily.
I think Switzerland should get a good shout out as well, beating France and then in penalties, and then going and taking the game to penalties against Spain as well.
Yeah, I don't know I don't rate them. They didn't play very good football either. They just sort of held on.
Yeah.
For dear life. So on to biggest disappointment now. Now mine, it's Turkey. That Turkey team on paper looked so strong, man. It looked so strong. You had two of the best young goalkeepers in the world. You had two of the best young centre backs in the world, and Demiral as well. You had Hakan Çalhanoğlu, one of the most creative players in the world, who's now earned a move to Inter Milan. You had Yilmaz, who'd been banging them in the league, and you had Yazici as well, who was setting them all up for him. But they were so flat the whole tournament. They were dreadful.
Yeah, it was a poor display from them. I can't lie.
Yeah, people thought they were going to get to like the semi-finals. Me being one of them, I think.
Yeah, I don't think they go that far. I can't remember.
Me and Jack had them in the semi-final. England-Turkey semi-final.
I think they would have at least came out of the group. I think they came bottom, didn't they? They
didn't get a single point.
Yeah, they even lost to Wales. So
Wales OP.
Mate, I completely forgot they were even in the Euros because they got knocked out like 2 weeks ago. I completely forgot they were even in the tournament.
No, I'd say Turkey, and then also certain big name players that were bad, such as Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah,
I don't think he even got an assist or scored.
No,
I don't think he did anyway. I don't think he even played well. But Mbappe as well. Like,
Mbappe
wasn't very good. He wasn't very good, but I do think he was good in the first couple games.
Yeah, the first
he
Germany
didn't necessarily score or assist, but he was very much like you can tell. Okay, yeah, this guy's world class.
Didn't he set up the Benzema goal in the Germany game? Though?
Yeah. But I think he got an assist, but he got chalked off for offside.
Oh yeah, that was either way though. Him and Benzema combined brilliantly, and it looked like France were going to be dominant for the tournament. And then obviously Germany smashed Portugal, and everything went out the window after that.
That for me is one of the games of the tournament.
Yeah, that was brilliant. The 4-2.
That was a real game. Gozens, oh my days, what a baller!
Because
he could have easily had like one of the most.
That game could have had 8 or 9 goals because it was just back and forth the whole time. Obviously, I think weren't Portugal 2 up, or at one point wasn't it?
No, they were 1-0 up, and then it was 4-1. Or 3-1, and then they scored again to make it either 3-2 or 4-2, and then
that was it. But Portugal looked the stronger side, and then Germany scored 2 in like quick succession, didn't they? They scored 2 or 3 like straight away, and that was it. Again, that was like 3 weeks ago. Now, man, honestly, all these Euros games are just fried my brain, mate. I can't remember after the tournament at this point, but it was very good. And anyway, Jack, who's your biggest disappointment, mate?
Oh, I went for Fernandes.
Oh, of course, And then Jack, Luke's, he was talking about Turkey before. Was it Turkey, or do you have anything else to say, mate?
I should say Turkey, then like Fernandes and then Mania. So
anyway, away from the Euros, I didn't come home, but it was a very good tournament, and thank you UEFA for putting it on. Yes, it was terrible that it was in 12 cities. I think it probably should have just been held in England, like we were talking about in about March or so. Probably would have made more sense, to be honest with you.
Actually, out of interest, where would you say in your lifetimes watching international tournaments, where would this rank?
Right, so I've got a list of this as well. I was thinking about this earlier, right? So bottom would be Brazil 2014. that was just the whole tournament in general was dreadful. England got knocked out in the group
Yeah.
stages. All the games were like midnight as
Did we lose to
well.
Costa Rica?
Yeah, it was Costa Rica.
Yeah.
It was quite a difficult group. It was Uruguay, Italy, and Costa Rica. So England weren't. There one big team was going to be out. Not that anyway.
With my primary school.
Yeah.
When we watched.
Oh no, honestly, man, a lot of the England were not expected to do well at that tournament, but the whole thing was dreadful. The games were at night, etc. Like, do you know what I mean? It wasn't. It was a terrible tournament. Then I go Euro 2016. Or actually, no, Euro 2012 as well. No, Euro 2012 would be above 2014. Because 2012, it was like England lost to Italy on penalties in the quarterfinals. It was a terrible tournament, played like Ukraine and stuff. And players like Matthew Upson and Julian Lescott were playing. It's like it wasn't a great
absolute
England side.
Ballers.
Then 2010, I probably put. No, sorry, 2016, I put third. It was a good start for England. We beat Wales. But then there was the whole.
That was an unreal. I remember.
Mate, that was unreal. Yeah, we watched it at school.
Yeah, that was the one that was held like halfway through the end of the day.
Yeah,
as well.
That was an unreal tournament at the start of it. But obviously,
scored that.
Yeah, Iceland happened, and obviously I got some Welsh side of my family, and yes, I don't really like Wales as a football team, but it was nice to see Wales do well in that tournament as well, get into the semi-finals. There was the Gareth Bale moments and all that. And then I'd probably go 2010. World Cup, which was my first World Cup. Yeah, the South Africa World Cup. Yeah, it started brilliantly with the Shabalaba wonder goal, and yeah, it was great. You know, watching like Clyde Tildesley commentating through that. That was my first taste of football, and it left a sour taste in the mouth with the Lampard Germany thing. But the Slovenia game was pretty good, where Defoe scored. And the USA game with Rob Green. That was an interesting tournament, but that was a good tournament. And then I'd probably rank 2018 World Cup and then this. So 2020, Euro 2020 was my favourite tournament.
Good shout.
That's what I'd go for.
I've absolutely loved the Euros.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, I have.
I think considering as well how long it's been since fans have been in the stadium. Like
Hungary,
it was
the Hungry games.
Nice. The Hungry game, yeah. And when we beat like, obviously I know like the Denmark game was pretty mad, and obviously when we scored in the final.
Yeah.
But the Germany game,
the atmosphere that was amazing, mate. That was that's what we were like. That's when that was peak. It was coming home. That was it. It was peak. It's coming home.
Like, okay. It's like is that the first time we beat in Germany, like in a tournament?
In a tournament since '66, yeah. It's the World Cup final.
Unreal.
'66. Obviously, they beat him 5-1 in their qualifier.
And then Kane scored his first goal. Oh, it was a wrap.
Mate,
Made me go cry.
Mate, honestly, when that Muller miss as well, the Thomas
Muller
Muller
miss.
miss.
Oh my god, yeah, my heart was in my mouth. I laughed so hard when he missed the.
Oh. Do you know what the worst thing as well was? I watched the game like after the game because I was working like the whole way through. I think I was working until about 7 o'clock that night or something stupid, right? So I missed pretty much the majority of the game. So I came home and me and my dad watched it. My dad paused it for me because what a legend, right? He didn't watch it. My dad just paused it for me. Right? My mum and my sister both knew the result, and they watched it with us. They were teasing us the whole way through, going like, "Oh, I know the result. I know the result." And I was so nervous, man. But the limbs in my house after that German, after especially the second goal, but that Muller miss. That's when it was like, it's coming home. That feeling there would not be that would not be taken away from me like ever. Like, what a feeling I'm gonna remember there, man. What a feeling. But on a real, what a Euros it was. So let's move away from that and go into club football just to end. The season starts a month yesterday. The Premier League season starts. The EFL season starts in 3 weeks' time. It's coming fast, boys. We've had a few transfers. Most notably, Donnarumma to PSG, allegedly to be his backup to Navas, but they've got to move Navas
I think after this Euros,
they've got to move Navas.
I feel bad for Navas though.
He's such a good goalkeeper.
Did you know that they've got 9 keepers?
Yeah, 9 professional keepers. I saw that.
Mauricio Pochettino
about 4 or 5 of them are really good as well. Like they could start in the Champions League, or not maybe European football, like the Europa League, because you got Rico, Areola. You got decent players, decent goalkeepers there. I think both of them have played for Fulham, haven't they? Rico and Areola.
Yeah.
That was weird. But either way, so you've got 2 pretty decent goalkeepers alongside the other 2 as well. And Jadon Sancho to United. I mean, that's pretty much confirmed. It was confirmed during the thing, but he's had his medical and stuff like that. That's an interesting one, especially because Rashford's going to be missing the first few months of the season with a shoulder injury because he's had to operate on a previously injured shoulder. Once Rashford comes back in, that United side should be able to challenge Chelsea, City, and Liverpool. What a title race it feels like it's going to be, doesn't it? Like in the Premier League, it feels wide open. Because there are so many sides that are good, and obviously if Chelsea signed Haaland, then that's a bit like, oh, okay.
I really hope that happens.
I don't think it will happen, but
no, I reckon next year I reckon we'll do it, but
what's your first thoughts? Obviously, there are some rumours as well, and we'll talk about them. I mean, feel free to bring some up, but how the transfer window's gone so far?
Just in general, or
just in general for everyone, like how fusing the business has been done.
Obviously, you've had some big names already, like Sancho, Donnarumma.
Yeah.
And I think like low key. One player I do think will be very good is Patson Daka,
yes,
who signed for Leicester.
Yeah.
I think he'll be, in my opinion, one of the buys of the summer.
Another player who's broken a Football Manager. Patson Daka.
Yeah, he's unreal. He's tapped. Like it's ridiculous. I don't understand now. Like all you need is pace on Football Manager. It's like Callum Wilson. He's sick on Football Manager.
More player on Football Manager. Yeah. But yeah, no. So there's been some other deals as well, but those are the most high key ones. Are there any deals that you want to happen? Obviously, there's the Tomiyasu links with Spurs, no, Luke?
Yeah, I'd really like him. I didn't know who he is, and then I watched the videos on him, looked into him as background. Looks like a very good young player. So would like him.
I'm just saying, don't fully believe the videos. I would just watch Bakayoko videos thinking he was good. But...
Oh no! Obviously,
sorry. Have you seen Hanno Masengo highlights? Come on, the Champions League. But I thought Hanno Masengo was an absolute baller. He is, but like we thought we'd sign like the next coming to like Pogba or whatever when we first signed Masengo, mate. And yes, he's a good player, and he will play in the Premier League someday, mate. What a player Masengo is, by the way. I fucking love him. But
obviously you can't judge a player from like a couple of videos, but like how. From what I've seen, Tomiyasu, how he presents himself, like his work ethic, like everything, it's just because he's like obviously Asian as well. Very much, everyone's very much 100% football, nothing else. And you need that for the Prem. He's versatile, can play any side of the defence. He's quick, he's strong. So I do hope he goes through. But as Spurs are usually doing, taking a sweet ass time to get a deal like that over the line, when it should really only take a week. But you know. Yep. I don't run the football club.
Speaking about Spurs, there's been one to do with Spurs. The other one is nothing to do with Spurs. But we 2 podcasts ago we talked about Grealish and Kane, and we said, are they going to make the move to a bigger club in Kane and a big club in Grealish's terms? But like still, Villa are a massive club, but like as in trophy winning club. Do you think either of them will move? There's been tons of links. Obviously, Grealish, you've had Arsenal, Kane, you've had City, United, clubs abroad. Do you think either of them are actually going to move or not?
Not this year.
No one know. Kane, I don't think Levy would even like sell him. Like chuck as much money as you want. Maybe if it was like a 150 million, 200 million.
Like
I don't know. I don't think he'd do that because he at the end of the day he does support Tottenham.
Yeah, but you say that it's the same thing. Like
I don't know.
Rooney was like obviously he wasn't a United fan, but he was like United through and through, right? And he fell out of Sir Alex over a thing. He wanted to go to City, and he submitted a request. And obviously, no one saw that coming from Rooney because he'd been at United for like 15 years, like 10 years at that point. It was 10 years at that point. But like that kind of thing does happen. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Kane does. Loyalties can mean nothing, especially with trophies. Like he saw that City were going to be.
I'm seeing Spurs don't have Champions League next year as well.
Yeah.
I don't know
if Kane won the Euros, maybe it'd be a different story. But I still think he has a chance of moving. I don't know.
For Grealish though, I don't know if you boys have heard anything, but apparently Villa are looking to get Adidas as their sponsor for kits and that, and make them sponsor of the club, whatnot. And apparently they were saying if Grealish stays, then they'll make Adidas like Grealish. Like they'll make everything to do with Grealish Adidas. They'll make him his poster boy. So whether that's what was speculation with the owners and whatnot, I don't know. But obviously, there's a lot of money going to be in there for Grealish if he stays on. I don't think he'd leave Villa for. I don't.
Yeah, I can't.
I feel like he's one of them players that will just stay. I know he joined Spurs a couple of years ago, which
I think he's a brilliant player, but I think all the big clubs want to go for like bigger players. If you get me.
Mm.
No, but Grealish is one of the best players in the world.
Yeah,
I
know.
Say, I don't know about that. I think Grealish is top 5 players in the league.
Yeah, I know, but like when you don't see like, I don't know. I just don't think like the big clubs like want to go for him.
I don't see who needs him though. United
Yeah.
want Fernandes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
City maybe, but I don't know where their priorities are at the moment in terms of who.
Do you not feel like he'd be great at Spurs though, Lou? Like obviously, I know.
Well, I'd love him at Spurs, but we couldn't afford it.
No, I know you can afford it, but I'm saying like as a big club, I think he'd fit in great, especially he's got the link with Kane.
Oh yeah,
in general.
Yeah, I'd love him at Spurs. Like I don't know if you guys have seen anything like his interviews or not. He literally like sucks off Kane. Like he loves him.
But again, with the Arsenal links, I feel like he'd be perfect for Arsenal. I mean, him and Saka either side. Mate, that's like a combination that's great. I mean, yes, they don't have a guy up top to bag at the moment, but
I think Arsenal are going for Maddison. Though.
Yeah, that's you've seen a lot of that. Originally, there was the Grealish stuff, especially with obviously there was links with Smith Rowe to Villa as well, wasn't there? Like, I mean, that's not happened yet. I don't know if that will happen. That was quite concrete.
Another signing, Buendia to Villa.
Yes, well, that's the point. That's why I mentioned it because Buendia and Grealish together, if they do stay, and that's quite. Villa had a better season last year. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
they could do something next season. Obviously, linked with the legend himself, Harry Winks as well.
Saying that last time Villa spent a load of money, they almost got relegated. So
yeah,
they did get relegated the first time, didn't they? But in the
I think what other how do you think Brentford would do?
Honestly, if I'm being completely honest with you, I think Brentford will come straight back down, but I want them to stay up. It's like Bournemouth.
I can see them doing a bit of a Leeds, play as well, but like they'll get they'll stay up and they'll build on that. I don't think they'll get straight.
If anyone's going to do a Leeds, it's going to be Norwich, in my opinion, because they're much, much better than they were before.
I think actually, to be fair, they're much
even
more
without Buendia, they're still much better, and they've got the experience. And everything, they absolutely walked the Championship, mate. Watford, I can see going straight back down because I think the Watford are dreadful.
Oh yeah, I think that will happen.
but
I can see Southampton going down.
Yeah,
especially if they lose things.
A lot of stuff about Southampton. That's the thing I meant to mention. Actually, I saw Ings to Spurs this morning, Luke. That's what I was going to mention.
Nuno wants to play 2 strikers up front.
How would you feel about that?
I mean, I'd take Ings. I think he's a class player.
Ings isn't signing a new contract either, is he?
No, he's only got 12 months left. So he'd be like 20 million, pretty sure. So I'd take that in a heartbeat.
Remember when we were talking about it before, when it was City who were linked with Danny Ings like a year ago? So that was. I mean, honestly, I rate him
for his goal scorer. Like Jack, I don't know if you'd agree, but like let's say you can't get Haaland this season. You get Ings for like this season and maybe the next season, and then you go for Haaland. I don't know. I think that'd be.
Love Danny Ings.
No, Tammy Abraham's good, and he needs to play for Chelsea. I'm sorry, but Tammy Abraham
he's linked with Spurs today.
He's such a good player. Tammy Abraham needs game time. I'm sorry, man.
I'm saying is, Bristol City,
honestly, I'd take Tammy back in a heartbeat, mate. It'd be better than having Chris Martin and Naki Wells up front like we're gonna have this season, mate. God.
I'd say Abraham's a better striker than Werner in terms of like finishing ability.
What I don't get about
I'm not saying he's like not better. Like I don't know. He's not
for
like
Chelsea. Havertz plays the role that I think Abraham should play for Chelsea. Havertz is absolutely. I mean, especially in the Euros, where Havertz was great. Like, he's one of my favourite players to watch in general. He reminds me of Berbatov quite a lot, actually. But Havertz is great. I love him. He could even sub in for Havertz at some point. But again, Werner, I don't rate Werner whatsoever, mate. To be honest with you, and he needs. That's why where all this Haaland talk's coming from is from the lack of Timo Werner. Like if Timo Werner hit, they wouldn't even be talking about this, would they? And I think it's an interesting debate, to be honest with you. Is Timo Werner good or not? Let us know. The last podcast, the Euros one, was a record-breaking podcast for the 3
No, I can't lie. I don't rate Timo, but he's so funny. Did you see the thing? Like, I love Natalie Pinkham, right? The F1 presenter for Sky, right? I love Nat. She's great, right? Chelsea's German and goalkeeper.
Like if I could like just learn as a broadcaster myself, like if I could just take anything from that, I'd love to like just have a chat with her, see what she how she learned the industry and stuff. But I thought it was really funny when she said "Cheers, Chelsea goalkeeper Timo Werner" at the Austrian Grand Prix. That was, but his reaction to that was, that was funny as well. His reaction to that and his interview was that I was like, you know what a guy Werner is like. That's what I mean. Like he's actually, and he did the thing with Emilia de Moldenberg as well.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, was that? It wasn't it was not a Palace stadium, was it? It was in a football stadium. I can't remember.
It's just not a training ground.
Oh, training ground. But no, he was like pasta and ketchup. It's normal, something like that. What he said. But, oh, this guy's so funny. He is a jokesman. Can't lie.
Anyway, so like I was saying, the last podcast was our best podcast yet, performance-wise and numbers-wise. So thank you for that. We hit over 50 views on all platforms, which is much better than the first two. We were going about 20 on the other one. So
that's
thank you.
Good.
So thank you for listening. By the way, I want to start using my following more, so I'm going to start posting more videos on social media and stuff because I feel like I could get a great audience over. But thank you for listening. We all love football. That's why we're here. And on to next season, I guess, boys. We'll have one in a couple of weeks' time just to preview the season. Thank you for joining. Anything you want to say? Anything you want to plug?
My YouTube. I'm posting bare to my YouTube now. I'm 2 off 100 subs as well.
Go on.
So get it done. It's just called Luke Rodford. So I just do like football Spurs videos or not. So go watch that. Other than that, no, my Twitter's probably in the link. If it's on YouTube, I don't really know.
Yeah, but yeah, in the link. I'll do all the admin later.
Yeah. So yeah, my Twitter's at Luke Rodford as per usual. So get at it.
But anyway, thank you, Jack. Anything you want to say just before we leave?
No, I don't think so.
There we are. Thank you for listening to Bullet Header. I didn't even mention we were called Bullet Header at the start. We just rolled into it right at the start. But thank you for listening to Bullet Header podcast. If you do want to stick around, just follow us at Bullet Header Pod on social media. Remember to click the follow or subscribe button, whatever platform you're on, just so you get notified whenever we upload a new podcast. Follow us on Instagram. We'll post it on there as well. Thank you for watching.